One Question is designed to give subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences.
Greetings, this is Ty Brown and welcome to One Question, where we highlight executive leaders in college athletics. I'm here at the 2018 National Directors of Football Operations Conference, and I'm joined by Coach Woody McCorvey. Coach McCorvey is currently the Associate Athletics Director for Football Administration at Clemson University. Greetings, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you, Ty.
Now, Coach, you've been in the game for a long time, 46 years as a coach and administrator. Of course, that's almost 50 years. You coached for 39 years. You were at Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Clemson, North Carolina Central, Alabama A&M. Number of places. You coached in high school, offensive coordinator at a couple of those places. So you've seen a lot and you've done a lot. Of course, you've been in administration for some years now. Can you tell me about, in your wide lens of experience, what got you into the game of football and athletics, and what has kept you into the game?
Ty, the thing that really got me into the game of football, my daddy was a high school football coach, and then he got to be a principal. And then my high school football coach always lived next door to us. And I saw the impact that my dad and my high school football coach had on young men's lives growing up in the state of Alabama back in the 50s and the 60s. And that's what enticed me to want to be able to do the same thing. And that's probably why I chose the profession.
And in the role you're in now, you've coached for a long time. Of course, you spent time in Alabama and coached a lot of guys, and some of the people on staff were actually players when you were in there in Alabama. Tell me how that affects the satisfaction of seeing people that you actually coached or were on the team when you were coaching being successful in a role where you influenced their lives and now they're influencing young people's lives.
Ty's always been about the player with me and the general welfare of the player, and that's something that was always important to me from the time I coached high school football and even today. And it's such a joy every day that I come to work and I get a chance to work with men that I had an opportunity to have an impact on. Number one, Dabo Swinney being our head football coach. I was his receiver coach at Alabama. Danny Pearman is our special team tight end coach. I coached him at Clemson as a tight end back in the 80s. And then, also on the staff, Dabo has had the opportunity to put together staff, and he has Lamaski Hall to play for us at Alabama, Thad Turnipseed to play for us at Alabama, and also Mickey Kahn.
Right.
And to be able to sit in the staff room every day and work with a group of men like that and seeing the fruits of the labor that you put in, and not only with Dabo and Danny, but seeing some of the other guys that I know the impact that some of the other coaches that I coached with had an impact on their lives, while they were playing. And it's such a pleasure to go to work every day and see those guys and the impact that they having on players on our football team today, not only as a football player, but academically and socially and spiritually.
Right. And that it has to be an honor for you to see those guys, and that's what motivates you to keep going. You're almost 50 years in, to keep going every day, is that influence.
No doubt. And, with me, it's always been about the player, and that's one of the things that I want to give credit to our administration at Clemson for. Dabo has a vision. Sometimes you can have that vision, but you got to be able to have the resources and everything to be able to put it in play. And since Dan Radakovich has been there as our athletic director, and a lot of the things that we've been able to do from a facility standpoint and also an operations standpoint, where I work with mostly every day on a daily basis, Dan has been very supportive. He and Dabo are a really good team together. And also our Board of Trustees and President Jim Clements has done a good job in us being able to make that happen.
Right. Well, and you guys have been very successful there at Clemson, too. I wonder, Coach, somebody who has such a wide lens on experience and working with developing young men in the game of football and working with administrators and working with coaches, What are your concerns now? You see times are changing. You see money has a lot of influence on everything. What are your concerns in terms of the young men and women who are playing sports now in this environment in college athletics?
You know, the thing that we really have to be up on all the time now, because kids that we get today, the ones that's coming into college, they're a lot more educated on everything when they come in because of the world of social media. Everything is out there. And the biggest thing is so much money now in the game that a lot of people are coming at them. Not only once they get to college, but, you know, they have so many things coming at them, you know, when they're in high school. And we see a lot of things today that have just happened recently, you know, in college basketball. And, you know, we just had a group of people to get together to try to help regulate some of the things that just happened back in September in basketball. But they are hit with so many things. And if you take a guy that's coming through our football program there at Clemson, and if he's a high-profile guy and has had a good career, and he has a lot of potential to play in the NFL, I mean, you get people coming at him from all different ways, agents, financial advisors, financial planners, companies that want endorsements, that want to be the face of them. And so it's just a lot there going. So what we try to do, and we've been able to put in place there at Clemson, a lot of educational things from the time that they are freshmen until they leave there. One of the things we've been able to put in play is what we call Paul Journey. And it's 3 phases that we do there with them every year. We take them from one phase to the next, and then the next phase. And we try to educate them on things that's probably going to be confronting them.
Right. I'd imagine coming out of high school, you see a lot of issues with that in terms of people, handlers, and it's almost like they're exploiting the kids to try to get them and shop them around the colleges. That's got to be an issue that you see in the longevity that you've seen growing so much more now because there's so much money involved in that.
That has always kind of been in the play, but it's a lot more in the forefront now because of the media coverage and the attention that's getting. And it's sad that, you know, we live in a world where you got 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that's being confronted like this by adults. And, you know, but once we get them, I think we got a lot of good young men in our program, and a lot of other programs do too. But the thing, you know, the older they get, the more you got to stay out there in the front and trying to be able to help them. And that's one of the things that Dabo wants in play for all our guys. At least, you know, if anything happened, at least we know we did a good job of educating them about it.
And gave them the information. They can do with it what they will, but at least you tried your best to prepare them, right? It's almost like a game. We can put you in a position to make a play, but you still have to make the play.
Still got to make the play.
Exactly. Well, Coach McCorvey, this has been an excellent conversation here. I think that with your experience and actually working with people that you coached or that were on a team when you coached, or you know guys that coach them and seeing the influence, you've had a fulfilling career that a lot of people outside of coaching, they don't really experience that. I think it's one of the benefits of working in football coaching.
No doubt. And, you know, it's something that I do not regret, having chosen the field that I'm in. I've had a chance to visit a lot of places, seen a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have seen. And not only that, you know, been married a long time, and same thing with my son. I have one son, and he's been able to benefit from it by seeing a lot of things. And, you know, it's been a big plus. It's been a big plus. And, you know, when I went off the field as a coach, I was really wondering how the adjustment was going to be to move into an administrative role. First year was tough. It was tough. But then all of a sudden, you know, it came upon me and said, hey, look, instead of your group that you're coaching, now you have the whole team.
Yeah.
And when I go to practice every day, I get a chance to walk around and see everybody coach and see how they interact with their players. And then it's a good thing now that in the facility, walking up and down the halls now, that I have a good job of communicating with all the players instead of just the group that I coach.
Well, this has been an excellent conversation, Coach. I thank you very much for taking the time to join us here on One Question.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me.
Yes, sir. That was Coach Woody McCorvey. He's the Associate Athletics Director for Football Administration at Clemson University. Veteran to the game, he's been involved with college football for 46 years as a coach and as an administrator. And this is Ty Brown with One Question. And keep in mind, the role of a leader is to create and maintain an environment that people want to be a part of. And as always, be better tomorrow than you are today. This episode of One Question is produced by Spades Media Group, solving problems using creative leadership.